Hi, I'm Stephen Hand from Archery Supply. Today we're going to look at the Win and Win ACS15 Stabilizers, which is these. These are the top of the line Win and Win stabilizers. Well, I don't know if they're top of the line, but they're the same price point as the EL. This is the EL. This is the ACS15. Now they're about the same width, or they are the same width. I'm not sure of the difference. Now the EL comes in just the one color, that black and red, which matches the Meta riser really nicely. The ES15 is this one, same price point as I said before. It comes in a whole bunch of colors. So this is the white, this is the burgundy, black and gold. So black and gold. And the black and yellow. Black and yellow. Now these are thinner than a standard carbon stabilizer, so that means less wind. So if you're shooting in less wind, if you're shooting in wind conditions, there's going to be less friction on the stabilizer, so that means you're probably going to move around less. But the real question is your points score going to improve if you put expensive stabilizers on your bow, and what's it going to shoot like? Now normally, if you watch any of my videos, I'm always about practicing, train, and really it's very hard to buy points compared to someone who trains a lot. However, I sold a top-of-the-line Win and Win Wiawis bow, the Meta, the other day to a top-line archer in the state who came fourth in the Nationals, and he rang me up the day after he shot his bow and he said, well, Stephen, it added I think 7 points to his personal best score in an indoor event. Now let's just take this into perspective. 9 points probably would have won him the Nationals. In the State Open, it would have won him the State Open, and it probably broke a state record for him. That's how big 9 points is when you're at the top. So it was a massive improvement. And at the time I said to him, are you going to buy some matching stabilizers? And he kind of laughed at me and said no. So I'm going to grab a set of these and let's compare them right now. Okay, so when you're going to fit a stabilizer to a bow, the more weight you add to the stabilizer, theoretically the more stable you're going to be, as long as you can hold that weight. And the more pressure it puts on the stabilizer, so the stiffer this stabilizer needs to be. Now Win and Win on the ACS15 claim this is a very stiff stabilizer and it's completely suitable for compound shooting. Now, its price point, the long stabilizer retails for around $300. Now that puts it at the expensive end of town. Now not as expensive as some, but more expensive than others. It definitely puts it up there in the more expensive stabilizers on the market. Now, my first thing is these are really hard to display. So you've got to display them in the shop kind of that way because you can't hang them. Now, they are they've got these little black things on the end. They're hard to get out of the package. And I haven't shot one of these before. Now, I started this video saying about the archer in my state who he obviously won the Masters and came fourth nationally. He shoots the same stabilizer as me, just a cheap set. So this is the ACS15, and I think it looks beautiful. So now, in the past when I've tested stabilizers, the bigger it is at the end here, the more shock it absorbs. So I think this is going to absorb a fair bit of shock because it's quite wide there and it thins down. Beautiful graphics. Win and Win just have beautiful graphics on their stabilizers. They're nice and clear. Look, it looks fantastic. And I've been really wanting a set of these stabilizers. Now they come with weights. Now, for me, I've been struggling, as much as I want one, I struggle to buy it because the cheaper set I think is fine. So this is the cheaper set I've been using. They're about $150 for a set, and that's the complete set. So we're comparing $500 to $150. So let's just compare that. So I'm going to have a shot with this. Now when I shoot this shot, so we're shooting the same bow, we were shooting the same bow. This is a Win and Win ATF with top of the line NSG limbs. They're about $1,000 limbs, it's about $1,000 riser. So about $2,000 bow with $150 worth of stabilizers on it. Now I feel vibration when I shoot. Now that doesn't affect my shooting. What affects my shooting is me. So me aligning things, my release, my muscles, how fatigued I feel. So now what we're going to do is we're going to fit the ACS15 stabilizers on and just feel the difference. Now the first thing I'm going to say is the ACS looks so much better. So these are the stabilizers I'm shooting at the moment, and they look a little bit cheap, but they're nice for the price. So if you're getting into archery, like $150, great stabilizers to get you started. They shoot perfectly fine. But if you're spending $2,000 on a recurve and you want stabilizers that will last you, the ACS Wiawis is just a beautiful looking stabilizer. Now there's other top line stabilizers from all the various stabilizers manufacturers in the business, but these look great. Now that Win and Win, they obviously produce carbon bows, carbon compounds, carbon recurves, and they produce carbon push bikes. They're really developing. God, that looks, doesn't that look? It just, you can just tell the difference in the thickness between it. It's just, they look great. Now Win and Win also produce expensive and cheaper V-bars. So the V-bar I'm shooting at the moment is just a $20 V-bar. They have fully adjustable carbon V-bars, which sell for quite a lot, about $200. They have carbon V-bars, which look fantastic, which sell for about $70. Or they have just aluminium V-bars, which sell for about $30, $40. So the first thing you'll notice is the ACS15 comes with weights. Now, there's no dampener in between here, and Win and Win sell dampeners that you can mount between the systems. Now, I'd expect these to be like there's no gap here, but that's the way they can't, I'd expect this to be the same diameter across both plates. Okay, so this set of stabilizers, all up's around $500. Now, it would look better with a carbon V-bar, it would look better with a matching extender, but for this test, it's just like, how does this feel compared to $150 or $130? It looks so much better. It feels nicely balanced, but that's just the way. Very interesting. Okay, so my first observation is on these stabilizers that there's significantly more weight. You can see the weights on the end there, there's significantly more weight, so the bow feels significantly lighter. Now these also have the dampeners with them, so I was expecting these stabilizers would feel less shock when shot, because the ACS15 doesn't have the dampeners fitted to them, and you've got to buy those extra. They sell for about $30 each, so you're looking at an extra $100 worth of dampening to basically reduce the shock. But what I found when I shot these stabilizers, when I shot the cheaper stabilizers, I felt a bit of vibration when I shot them. It wasn't bad, like it was pretty good, but this was better. Now to me something sounded loose. I'm just going to have another shot. That time something sounded loose on the bow, but I'm not feeling this slight vibration at the end of the shot. It's a lot crisper in the shot. The bow feels a lot more sharper in the shot, if that makes any sense. It's not like the other stabilizers are bad, they're clearly not bad. It's just these feel better. I have one more shot. Okay, so my summary of this. So in the past I've shot the HMC stabilizers from Win and Win, which were a pretty good stabilizer. I shot that on my other Win and Win bows that I've had before. And they were okay stabilizers. There's nothing wrong with them. They were good, they matched the bow, they looked great. I opted to go with cheap ones just to see how they were and whether things broke down on them, whether things came loose. And it was pretty good. I had to glue some bits in. These stabilizers feel better. They feel better than the old Win and Win ones I shot, which were a similar price to these. They feel better than the cheaper stabilizers. And you're probably going to say, well, that's, understandable. And it is. But the thing which surprises me is they don't have the dampeners on them. The dampeners take out a lot of shock. So if you added more dampeners to the stabilizer, that'd feel even better. I would probably add more weights on here, and that gets me to the question about what weights fit on here. Now this will be the small threaded weights like your Easterns and that sort of stuff, your dead center stabilizer weights. I would like to add more weights to create more stability in the shot. But a beautiful set of stabilizers that feel more crisp to shoot. Now, I don't think it's going to improve my score. I'm just looking where my arrows landed on the target. I don't think it will improve my score, but again, prove me wrong. But the thing is, when I sell archery gear and when you purchase archery gear, it's about how much you want to shoot. And if you think a product's nice and you spend the money to buy a nice product and you shoot every day or you shoot regularly and you appreciate that product, it's worth buying it, in my view. These stabilizers they look fantastic. They kind of match the graphics on the limbs, the yellow writing and all that sort of stuff. So they kind of match this writing here. Look. It's really nice, and before I would have said just buy cheap stuff, but having sold a fair bit of expensive stuff lately, and the customers coming back and telling me they shoot every day, they get professional coaching, they're enjoying their shooting, this is what they're doing now for their recreation. I think if you can afford it, then just buy the decent stuff. If you can't afford it, you're going to shoot fine with the cheaper stuff. It kind of gets me to what I'm going to do now. I think I'm going to buy myself a decent set of stabilizers. And I think what we'll do in some new reviews is we'll review some of the other top of the line stabilizers, and that way I can kind of see which stabilizer I'm going to get. But these stabilizers, they just look, this here looks beautiful, this looks beautiful. I'm not 100% sold on these weights yet, and Win and Win produced some little weight discs. So I'm not 100% sold on these weights yet, but we'll see how that goes. The Win and Win dampeners are good. They're really, really good. Fivix produce weight dampeners. There's a whole lot of company produce weight dampeners, but the Win and Win ones are really good. I haven't had any problems with them. And if you want to add weights and dampeners, you can always add weights, dampener, then weight. So you don't want to just go dampener, then a whole stack of weights, because then it'll wobble. So it'll basically be weights, dampener, weight. So you don't want the weights vibrating too much. So hopefully that's been helpful. That's the ACS15 from Wiawis or Win and Win stabilizers. Come in great colors. Price point is at the top end of town, but if you're going to be buying these stabilizers, you already have an expensive boat. I'm sorry for the sniffles in this video. Today was the coldest day in 10 years or longer in this state. It didn't get above 10 degrees. It topped out at 9. So, and it's extremely cold tonight. I just want to try these stabilizers. Anyway, I'm Stephen Hand from Archery Supplies. Thanks for watching. Bye.